Ukraine's U-turn got everyone's head spinning, from West is best to Hello Moscow. It's the ultimate political whiplash. But hold on, are top officials really suggesting a tag team with Russia against the West? Has the West Charm offensive turned into a legal battleground? Can you imagine the drama of Ukraine and Russia teaming up to give the West a legal beatdown? Alexei Arestovich, Ukraine's top official, believes that the key to geopolitical success is not through diplomatic negotiations or strategic alliances, but by filing a collective lawsuit, a lawsuit against the Western countries. Step aside from the conventional peace talks, Arestovich suggests that global disputes could find resolution in the courtroom. Arestovich recently passed a statement that reflects Ukraine's interactions with Western powers. The officials now want Ukraine to come to an agreement with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and then Kiev and Moscow should unite to sue the West. Former advisor to Zelensky, Alexei Arestovich, distinguished himself with a new scandalous pro-Russian statement. He said that after peace is concluded between Ukraine and the Russian Federation, a joint lawsuit should be filed against the West. According to him, Ukraine needs to talk to Putin and make peace and then file a lawsuit against Western countries. Putin needs to be told, let's make peace, but we will make it in a particularly cunning way. We will file a class action lawsuit against the West. Ukraine and Russia are together. The West owes us, said Alexei. This is not the first time that Alexei has gone against Zelensky. Alexei's divergent stance from Zelensky isn't merely a one-time dissent. For instance, in the recent past, Arestovich vehemently rejected the notion of invading Crimea, emphasizing the exorbitant human and economic cost. During an interview with Russian journalist Yulia Latnina, Arestovich forewarned that such a military operation could result in the extermination of 200,000 of the adult male population, referring to the number of soldiers Ukraine would likely lose. Ukraine's economy could also be totally destroyed in the process, he had warned. He punctuated the harsh reality check by questioning the feasibility of Zelensky's aspirations, hinting at the severe consequences that would befall the nation. Arestovich underscored Ukraine's existing dependence on Western support, cautioning that any disruption in the supply of weapons from allies could jeopardize not only territorial ambitions, but also the defense of current positions. And now, in the aftermath of the conflict, Alexei advocates for Kiev to align with Russia, asserting that Ukraine has been left with nothing. This sentiment stems from a series of events that unfolded, drawing attention to the West's motives and actions. The West, driven by its own interest, initiated a proxy war that wreaked havoc not only in Ukraine but had far-reaching consequences across Europe. Examining the fallout, it becomes evident that the West intervention, seemingly intended to benefit its own agenda, inadvertently contributed to the destruction of Ukraine. The Ukrainian population, in response to the upheaval, has developed a basic sentiment against the West and turned towards Russia. The once solid bond between Ukraine and the West has hit a breaking point. Ukrainians' once hopeful allies now cast a skeptical eye at the very West they once hailed. Why the about face? Picture this: a country teetering on the brink of collapse, its economy tattered, its infrastructure in ruins, and the haunting toll of lives lost to the relentless war machine. The West, once seen as a beacon of hope, is now seen as the puppeteer behind the scenes, fueling the conflict that has plunged Ukraine into a devastating crisis. As Russia's dominance looms larger by the day, Ukraine's battle for survival now feels impossible, with the West suddenly flipping the board and walking away. With Western aid now a distant memory, Ukraine finds itself gasping for breath in the face of Russian aggression. So much so that even top officials are proposing an unthinkable alliance. Kiev and Moscow teaming up to point the accusatory finger at the very forces that once pledged their unwavering support.
Welcome in Moscow. And now I don't understand what I'm doing.